What you're looking at here is 1414 Miller Street, or what used to be 1414 Miller Street. I stumbled across a lady early in the morning with her child. They seemed to be running away from something. The Holy Spirit told me to pick them up. I picked them up, took them to their home. I prayed for her and the child. During the next couple days, I was experiencing a lot of oppression, depression, hopelessness, and feelings of despair. And so I called the lady after I got on my knees and I prayed to Jesus, what's happening here? What's going on? There's something really wrong with this lady, isn't there? And so, yeah, there was something really wrong with her. She stated to me on the phone that there was a demonic portal inside the house, and that it was her job to destroy it, and that in fact God was mandating her to do so by burning the house down. So I suggested she would go to prison if she did that. She said she didn't care. So I invited her to go to church, and she agreed. I had already determined that she actually was a Christian woman, and struggling with a lot of things, and obviously not on the right path, judging by her actions. But so when I arrived at the home, she didn't look like herself. She looked like a totally different person. I didn't recognize her. Thought it was maybe the sister or something, maybe the aunt. She was in the doorway, half dressed, and she was acting really scary. She appeared to be demon possessed, and by her actions, she indeed was. The little boy had a knife in his hand, and she began to act a little kind of creepy slash aggressive toward me, and she grabbed the knife out of the little boy's hand and came walking quickly toward me. At that point, I hightailed it out to my car, but I couldn't see myself leaving the situation. So I did come back on the scene and try to convince her to go to church with me. After putting clothes on, of course, I couldn't see myself taking her to a church in the way she was dressed. So she was going to get dressed, I suppose. Um, but she didn't. She changed her mind, and she asked me if I would stay and cook with them. She said, "Stay and cook with us." And I didn't feel comfortable going in the house. There was some drug paraphernalia and that kind of stuff. And in fact, about a year before this, there's an article in the newspaper featuring this woman and this little boy. She had just gotten her son back from a long battle with the court, excuse me, to regain custody of him. And well, I don't have a lot of time here. I have a few more minutes. I just want to mention that what ended up happening was I put the little boy in my car. I buckled him in. I was straight up going to kidnap the little guy, poor guy. And I couldn't understand why I was doing what I was doing. It wasn't like I was thinking, well, she's about to burn the house down, but she came to the car, unbuckled him, took him out, and then I did observe her with holding his hand and staring up at the window. If you see on the video that little window on the left side, that was the window. That's the room where she stated the demonic portal was located. She went right up to that room, um, and lit the fire. Lit a match. I wasn't there. I was outside at the time, so I didn't see, and I did not suspect that this is what was going to happen. But the little boy also was outside. I was able to determine that he was not in the house when the flames began to engulf the residence. And so I looked into the house to find some history on the house, and apparently an evangelical minister in the 1950s took in orphan children at this location, which is now a park, a really nice park actually, and the address 1414 Miller Street no longer actually exists. So, something very interesting happened a couple of weeks before this happened, which it all seems to connect. I'm not done telling this story. I still need to discuss what happened when the authorities came on the scene. I did tell the police that she was the one who set the fire and that she told me she was going to set the fire, but I didn't think that she would. Otherwise, I would have followed her into the house and tackled her, you know. She had told me on the phone that she was going to start the fire, but when I was at the residence, I didn't think that in a million years, I didn't think that she was going up to that room to actually set the fire. And that is what happened. So I'm going to make another video to discuss what happened a couple of weeks before this happened that connects to the story in a lot of really kind of creepy ways. So stay tuned for that. Ephesians 5:11 ministry over out.